Each university will be different. There will be universities that require much lower, and there will be universities that require a little bit higher. The higher the university in the UK rankings, so for example, King's is 27th in the world, the more difficult it is going to be to do that course. Summer session is much easier, so if you can get in to do a summer session and put that on your transcript, then that's something that's going to help you a lot down the line with either jobs or doing your master's degree, or going on to a PhD if you're doing a master's at King's doing a summer session. Who here has taken an IELTS exam? IELTS or TOEFL? Okay. And the IELTS exam is probably the best exam that you'd want to take because it's very established in the UK. It's established with the UK government, the immigration. So there are specific rules for which tests you can take. It would be easier for you to take the IELTS, so you can ask the British Council. They'll definitely be able to help you, let you know where the dates are that you can take the IELTS test, as well as setting up perhaps lessons as well. If a student has a very low, for example, English level, he or she might have to study a bit, then take the test and see how high they score, and then you can apply for summer school. Each candidate is basically assessed individually, so it's not saying, oh, we'll just take 10 students from Brazil this year. Each one is competing against someone else. So if they have received 50 applications, one's from Brazil, India, China, and so on, it's not a country ratio. It's more of who has the grades, why do they want to come study summer school, what are they going to do with it. It is a little bit easier, again, summer school, but it's not that easy in the sense that there's no competition. The applications are usually open in January, but again, I know that there's a different system in Brazil, so make sure to just check the website of each university because each application will be different. They'll have a different entry date, but it's usually the same month. So if you're interested in summer school, just go on the website of the university you're interested in and look at the application requirements. Each one will be slightly different. Some universities will have like a Brazil page, for example. At King's we'll have a page that says Brazil. You just click on it and it'll tell you entry requirements, how to apply, what we need, and so on. Some universities will have that and some won't, so it really does depend. At the end of the presentation, I'll give my card out to whoever wants, whoever has questions later, or you can come up to the table, and then I can fill you in on anything that you might want explained in more detail. This is an example. This is a question actually I got quite a lot today, and it was for undergraduate as well as summer, but this basically is what the costs are. So summer session 1 at King is 1,100 roughly pounds. Summer session 2 is roughly 2,000 pounds. Summer session 2, unfortunately, is the one that you'd most apply to, and it's more expensive, but that's in July. 2,000 pounds is about, I think, 6,000 reais, roughly. And then if some students who want to do the second summer session, or the first, they need their English slightly higher. It's almost entry level for summer school, but it's not. You can come a little bit early and pay that much money, which is about 700 reais, and then you can do a small English course to get you up to the part for summer school. Accommodation, again, I had a lot of questions today regarding accommodation within London. London is a really expensive city, but if you get the accommodation at the university, you'll be in the most central part of London, for example, with King's or any other institution. If they're in central London, they'll get you accommodation within their housing in the best parts of London, the central parts of London, and you'll be paying student prices. For example, this £800 in the Waterloo area where we were at King's, that's about £850 for the section. It would be in the thousands if you did it yourself. And then the application fees, there are some institutions will have, most institutions will actually have application fees for the summer. They don't have application fees for undergraduate or master's programs like the whole degrees. They will have for summer sessions. Again, as an example, admission is 55, late admission is £110 for summer school, so it's best just to check in advance. Again, some courses might have, make sure to read every detail in the course. If you're really after a certain course, especially as there are courses that might involve travel or research that involves travel for the course, make sure you read the fine print because they can get expensive. For example, travel costs or exhibition exhibition fees, and so on, they could add a lot more to the course. It could be as much as a quarter. So make sure you see what the full costs are before you do any registering up. I was talking a little bit about accommodation. All international students are accommodated, meaning that you come on a first-served basis. You come over UK students. You get preference. The rooms will range from a single room to a double and or triple, and with shared facilities or your own bathroom and so on in the room. It depends. Of course, the better the room in a way. You know, if you wanted a single room, the bathroom and the shower, it's going to be more expensive. But I would definitely urge you to do a double, you know, with someone else, because you learn English the whole time. You'll be speaking English. You'll be immersed in it completely. And it's easier to make friends that way too. The application for accommodation is basically made at the same time as the application for your course. So make sure you apply. Don't say, oh, I'm just going to apply, get accepted, then I'll see, and I'll apply for accommodation, because then you could be stuck. Some students, luckily, we were able to accommodate them, but they showed up in September, and they hadn't even applied for accommodation. They had no housing or anything. So we were running around, but we were lucky to get them places to live. So just make sure to do that. Who here has been to London before? Okay, 5, 6, 7. If you basically look at the UK Visit London website, it'll show you maps of London, interactive maps and so on. It'll give you a peripheral vision over London. London is divided up into sections, so you're going to have the central part and then the outer rim, the suburbs. Most of the sites are going to be bang in central London, so they're going to be around where you're studying, like the Tate Modern, the museums, the theaters. They're all very, very central London. Now, each university will have a summer programs office. So when you go onto whichever university's website you're interested in, you'll see the summer programs office. This is basically, they will be able to help you for most of your queries. Any questions that you have, it'll be the summer programs office that will help you. Activities, travel, you know, any organized travel. Sometimes there'll be travel, for example, Paris, a Paris trip, and you can sign up for it there. It'll be the summer programs office. And it's very highly discounted within the summer programs office. And this is definitely a good time for you to visit and to travel, because London is so central that there are cheap tickets to almost anywhere. It's the cheapest place in the world to fly from, for example, London to Africa. Morocco, you can go there for under £100 as an example. All of Europe, of course, is really cheap with EasyJet. Who here has heard of EasyJet and Ryanair? Everyone almost? Yeah, it's like super cheap. So that's the part where you can get your traveling done. I know that in Brazil, I was here like 7, 8 years ago, and I lived in Florianopolis for a little bit. And the prices were crazy to get a plane from Florianopolis to like Brasilia. And I was like, oh my God, how did the Brazilians do it? But in London, don't cut yourself off from the travel. Just think about any option, anywhere you want to go. This is a really good chance for you to do all that travel. And of course, the Olympics are starting July 27th in London. So the prices are going to be slightly higher, but it doesn't matter for you because you would have had accommodation in all our universities. Okay, this is I'm using King's as an example, but majority of institutions are going to be like this. The full program of fees available for 2012 in all the universities should be available on their websites now. It's definitely going to be the easiest way. There's a website called hotcourses.com, so www.hotcourses.com, and that you can search the entire UK by saying, okay, I'm looking for a ceramics course, or I'm looking for political science specialism in Asia, for example, anything you want, and you just put the level, so a short course, and so on, and it'll bring you the full list in the UK, or you can narrow it down to London. It's easier than going from, it's good that you're here today because you can visit all the universities and get a really in-depth view of each university, but this website, it'll be a lot easier for you to search in one hit, the whole of the UK.